at the bottom of my
Okay.
step, solid ice slick with no snow.
Yeah.
And I can't fall, but I have railings. So I hold
Donna?
onto my railing and I swing around and I put my foot
Yeah.
down on ice that's sticking up to hold myself in place. Then I step out into the snow covered ice. Then I walk to my.
You have any table salt you can try?
No, we can't find it.
But like table salt.
Oh, table salt. Yeah, I got plenty of that.
Use it.
This, you
Well,
can
that
just
works.
click it back and forth.
If it's working.
And then that's how you move on, and then your audio's on, video's on, and you don't have to do anything, you just go. Yeah, it's being live streamed on YouTube right now. I did have one girl text me say that she's on live, she just can't interact, but.
And I tried to never do so.
You just need to do your thing.
Alright.
It hurt. So,
Oh.
yeah, we know if we need anything, you hear the ice
thank you,
cracking
darling.
as it went over it. And then we break it off the steps, but it's so thick on the sidewalk, I can't get it off the side.
My husband used a hatchet to get it right outside of our door where it was doing that.
I did see that,
Yeah.
it's that this thick on the sidewalk. It's terrible, and then it refreezes, like you
Yeah.
said, overnight.
You not saying it, but it's a huge thing. That no one did it,
Yeah.
but it's so.
I have bags of sand at the back of my house that I put out my brother-in-law. To bring, I can't lift one, bring it up there and put it on. I'm gonna have to call him and see if he's available. He can go
From the back door to the car.
I'm gonna try the salt first, cause it'll solve. So if it doesn't work, I'm gonna have him come over and bring up one of those back, my backyard and basement flooded and.
Oh.
Yeah, the landlord came over and they put bags of sand in place. To stop the flooding into the basement. Which I thought was weird, but it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. It worked. Renee, I wanna say thank you.
Yeah.
So much for all the wonderful ideas that you have given me. I have written everything said down.
I know that.
Renee's amazing.
Oh.
She's
Just sponging, like. I had another job when I moved here and it was so negative and the people were so negative and I just felt down and I thought it was Lexington. Like, I'm like, it's just, and maybe it is, but the culture here, like I leave every day feeling inspired and uplifted.
yes,
Everyone is so kind.
yes.
I feel like people are really friendly, but you know what? You have to walk around and smile on.
Yeah,
And then you get
You get a smile.
good interaction, from people.
My
I
last
learned that
job,
about myself years ago. That when I'm down in the dumps, I just need to get out and smile at people, so they'll smile.
I smile at people all the time and compliment them. Now, don't do men. I know that sounds weird, but.
Oh, I even compliment, man.
But I learned my lesson in Walmart. I said hi to this guy, he chased me all over the store. Then he finally worked up his nerve to ask me if I was available, and I am, but I said no. I said, well, and then I read online that Walmart is the #1 place to meet senior people. I did, I read that. And I thought, oh my goodness, well, I can imagine why if that guy chased me all over Walmart.
You must have read that too.
Everywhere I went, I would definitely smile. And I thought, "Hey, stalker, get away from me." And then I just kinda, after I told him I wasn't available, he left me alone. That's good. So I kinda learned my lesson. I'm careful. Let's just say I'm careful about smiling at Ben. I might give him a
Oh, yeah,
little smile.
I'm aware.
Yeah, but
I'm
now
gonna give this just a couple minutes.
talk to strangers. I mean, we'll just
Do you
talk.
think anybody else will? Okay.
I talk to strangers. I do all that. I just.
Yeah, listen, that's what I enjoy in life, and that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get started here. And I don't think we've met. What is your name?
I'm Carol Conyers, and I'm just now starting my real estate classes.
Okay.
So I'm learning. That's why Renee is just.
Well, you're in the right place because this is the most amazing. It's the best thing I ever did.
Is it really?
When I came to college.
Cause I'm like Renee, I was in a negative environment and I changed career. I just said I can't do this anymore.
Well,
How long have you been with Keller Williams?
07.
Oh,
And
since
then we
07.
opened this one as Greater Lexington in 14. And I was very blessed, I asked to be an investor, very, very blessed, thank you, Lord. Anyway, I'm Donna Sullivan, and been in real estate for over 30 years. So, it's the only thing I know how to do. And hopefully I know how to do it well. And I was the principal broker here up until a couple years ago. And so hopefully I have a little bit of knowledge that I can share with you.
I'd say you have a lot of knowledge, sure.
Being the broker, I learned so much during that period of time. It's just unbelievable. But anyway, here we go. Of course, this is session 14, Win the Buyer. And this is the overview. I don't think we really need to go through all that. I'm sure you all have seen that 50 times. So we're lead generation, lead follow-up, transaction. And today's agenda is to get the appointment, conducting the buyer consultation, the AHAs, the A buyers, preparing for the buyer consultation, getting the signed buyer agreement, and of course the daily success system. Okay. The right approach to close for a meeting is the only approach. Just ask for it. You know, if you don't ask, you don't get. And sometimes we're afraid we're too soon in asking for it. And then before we know it, somebody else has asked, and they thought we weren't interested. I've had that happen, that they thought I was not interested when I was not wanting to tread on them too soon, you know? And of course, you can say anything, you say it in the right way. Like, where am I with my little slides? Okay.
How do you know the right time? Is it your gut feeling or is that what it
It's
is?
a people thing. It's a people thing. I mean, it's always the right time.
Okay, it
If you
is,
say it in the right way,
alright,
and if they have a need, you know, if you find out what they need. Okay, so we've already done today's agenda. Okay, what is an A buyer? I think y'all have seen this before many times. So we know we got to have the lead capture, and then the leads become contacts, and then you prepare the contacts for the conversations. So it's a lead generation and database model from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And what is an A buyer? You all know what an A buyer is?
Ready in 16 days or less, I think.
10 to 14 days. That's what this says.
Okay, yeah.
That would be an A buyer. And then how do you follow up with an A buyer? Every day. Because if they're an A buyer,
0 to 4.
we think, okay, we're bugging them. And they think we're ignoring them. And we're not interested. Okay. And this is the 7-step buyer service cycle. So these are all the things you go through to get that buyer. And so this should be in your participant guide. Okay. So the first one is lead to appointments, is lead generation of follow-up. The second one is prepare for the buyer consultation. And then number 3 is the buyer consultation. Number 4, find a home. Number 5, offer and negotiate contract. Number 6, contract to close. Number 7, post-close systems. And I think you've learned about some of those. And have we even said enough to have any ahas at this point?
It's always the right time to close.
Yeah.
That was, I mean, not to close, I'm sorry, it's always the right time to ask.
And you always need to say, I'm in real estate. I will say I've not always done that. I try to always be aware. I do not leave a conversation without somehow bringing up that I'm in real estate. And, you know, people don't really give out their cards like they used to. I need to order some more. And, but truthfully, it feels kind of weird to me that when I give somebody a business card, they say, oh, thank you. What? You know, because for 30 years, I've been giving people business cards, and then I got out of the habit of it. Because it's like, again, I'm being full somehow. You know, this is who I am. And sometimes I don't, I'm having a conversation personally, I go, oh, let me give you my business card. You know, and then I was like, thank you, like I have given them a gift. So it is how you approach it.
In the past, I've said, here's my contact information if you ever want to call me.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And just handed over my card. But I should say business card, because that is it at work. Step up.
I don't even know if I said that. I need to say business card. Thank you very much.
That's a step up.
See, we can always learn something. Okay. Okay, these are keys to converting your A buyers. Respond right away to lead inquiries. I was laying in bed last night, and of course, people call me asking about finding a rental. I don't deal with rentals, but I did say, well, let me ask a few questions. And I actually was laying in bed last night and went, and she's thinking about getting a real estate license. And I'm like, she calls me for everything, and I had totally dropped the ball on her. And really my fault. So you need to respond right away, and you need to do what you say you're going to do. You're going to get valid and complete contact information, save it to command, and create an opportunity. I'm telling you, I'm not perfect with getting everything in command and doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. But if you will do it, and you'll, when you meet people, get them in there, and then you do your campaigns and kind of capture people a little bit and follow through, then, I mean, when they're ready to do something, you have them in there, you have their information in there, ready to do opportunities, whatever you need to do. And it just makes life simpler. So one of the main things, I mean, I can do the basic things in command, and I can do all of that. But using command to its highest level will change your real estate business. There's no doubt. I have absolutely no doubt. And so I need to be better myself with that. Okay, number 3, determine their motivation to buy so you can speak to it. If you don't know what their motivation is, you really don't know. And just because you ask them once or discuss it once, doesn't really mean you have their real motivation. But knowing what their motivation is and why they're wanting to make a move, it's going to help you know how to handle them, or talk to them. And they're planning on getting a divorce. And I may not tell you in the beginning that that's what they're looking for. So that's why you got to revisit motivation. Okay, set an appointment for a time and a date for as soon as possible. I will tell you, you need to get them into the office. And you need to have your skills up. And the skills are here. You just have to. For me, I think you have to say, okay, what works the best for me? So you may have trial and error with some things. But if you get them in this office, they see this is a very professional looking office, which means you must be professional. So there are times we can't do that and they won't come in. But once they trust you, I'm telling you, trusting you is the main thing. And that can happen, and it can happen pretty quickly. Once they feel like you care about them. When I got my real estate license years ago, one of the things that I heard in those classes, and I didn't hear for years, and now I'm hearing it again, because William, every once in a while, is people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And I built my life on that after that. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Then they want to know you have the skills. So you gotta have the skills to back it up. Okay. Guess I need to read what I'm supposed to be teaching, not what I want to teach them. Okay. 7 close to appointment tactics. Okay. You want to show the benefits to them of why working with you is a benefit to them. So when you're doing your buyer presentation, you want them to see what your resume is and maybe what your sales are, some of those things, and what your company. But if you're new, you can use your company's statistics. And we've got pretty good statistics. We're a pretty good size office. So, and you can say we, instead of I, if you're new. What else was I was gonna say something else, I'm gonna try. Hey. But they do have to see the benefit to them and not to you. Okay. The take back clothes. Yeah, wait just a minute. Let me tell you what my paperwork says to say. Just like I think. In general, people are more likely to go along with something you suggest if you explain the benefit to them. So, you could say, and this is good, if spending 30 minutes with me could save you hours of time and thousands of dollars in your home search, would that be a benefit to you? Great, let's meet. I need to internalize that. I do not use that. And that's wonderful. Y'all gotta admit it.
You read it again.
If spending 30 minutes with me could save you hours of time and thousands of dollars in your home search, would that be a benefit to you? Great, let's meet. Let me say it again.
Please.
If spending 30 minutes with me could save you hours of time and thousands of dollars in your home search, would that be a benefit to you? And then great, let's meet. I'm going to make myself internalize that, use that. Because that's wonderful. Because how can they say, if they're serious, how can they say no? at that point. And then the second one is the take back close. This technique puts a tempting offer in front of the buyer, then subtly creates a fear they may not be able to get it. So you could say, I've enjoyed talking with you. To be honest, I don't know whether I can be of help to you or not. However, I'd be honored if we could meet to find out. How about we meet tomorrow? Now, personally, I like that one better. I mean, it feels like it's. I always get, when I go back through these, I get them backwards as to what.
I still don't understand tech. What was that again?
That they had a fear of loss. You say something to them that gives them a fear of loss.
Okay,
And
thank you.
you're welcome. Number 3, the negative positive quotes. This is a way of backing into the appointment to close. And I actually have said some of these words before. Would you be offended if I asked if we could meet to go over all of this in a little more detail? I'm free tomorrow. What time works for you? Because there have been times when a lot of times when I've said, you can be offended if and that way they automatically are like, oh, trial close. The trial close tests the water first, and you should find out whether you and the client genuinely agree. You don't want to copy the ones I've just gone over later. It's actually, they may be in the back of your, I don't know, I may be wrong about that. Okay, so can you see how receiving a list of all the new homes on the market in your price range would help you in your home search? That's pretty good. And the first one, and maybe even a,
Can you do number 4?
Yeah.
oh. Sorry.
Thank
No
you.
worries.
I'll take any help you wanna give me. Okay, number 4, give them what they're looking for. Quickly pique the buyer's interest by giving them what they're looking for, information on an interesting comparable properties. So you could say, yes, let's meet in my office and I can give you the specific details about that property. And let you know about similar properties also for sale. What time works for you? Great, see you then. Now, there's part of me that says, I gotta come into the office, you can ask me a question. So I guess I'm saying my choice when I should just tell people which choices, but, okay. Number 6, assumptive close. Assumptive closes assumes the close and prevents them from saying no. For instance, it sounds like we should meet. I'm available most times this week, so what works best for you? Great,
I like
see you
that
then.
one.
Yeah, I like that too. Tie downs. Tie downs are phrases that ask for confirmation. Expressions like, wouldn't that be great? Or forming questions with, ain't you, isn't it, wouldn't you? Ask for agreement and get your customer into a pattern of saying yes. So you could say, we'll save hours on your home search if we meet in the office first. Saving time is important to you, isn't it? Great, let's meet. Excuse me. Buyer objections to the appointment. When a buyer objects to meeting with you, what are your first thoughts? You feel rejected, you hate to push. And that they're definitely saying no to it. Or they're being unreasonable. So you could say. No, I'm supposed to say to you, I'm sorry. These are my questions. Those are all the limiting beliefs. Aren't they? Believe it or not, objections are good. They are buying signals. And another step closer to a purchase decision. Objections are a response to, I don't know enough yet. Or you haven't answered all my question. So when they're giving you negative responses, it very well could be that they just don't have enough answers yet. So instead of walking away at the first sign of an objection, there's a system for exploring and solving the objection right away. You're going to ask questions. Tell me more about that, or help me understand. You know, the Phil Jones book. That's something that we all need to, like the words to use, make a huge difference. And we all have such patterns already that it's hard to change that. But I have one of the little booklet things, and I've done some of it and highlighted it. But then I laid it down, and that was the end
What
of it.
book is that? I'm sorry.
Is it called Exactly What to Say or the Right Words to Say?
I think it's exactly what to say.
That's the card
And
game.
he's they have really elevated him in the real estate, in Keller Williams' real estate world. And he was not a part of that. So I think he came out with one to say that says that it's all about real estate. But the one that I've got, like, works for everything.
That
So-
was the #1 MREA podcast. That was one.
Okay.
I didn't realize that. Number 2 is empathize. I certainly understand how you feel. They have to feel like you're in their corner no matter what. Number 3, identify the real issue. Restate what you heard and ask for confirmation. That way they know you're hearing what they're saying. You're not just skating over it and getting back to your agenda to do what you want them to do. Number 4, you offer a solution. Number 5, urge an agreement. Ask again for the appointment. Okay, which one of Eric? Y4C2. Oh, boy. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't remember where that is.
Communication. See,
You're
to
right,
understand.
girl. And I was surprised.
She's gonna win the prize every time, because
Oh, she's good. I love her.
I know I'm running to keep up.
So communication is seek first to understand. Trust starts with honesty and commitment in all things. You know, you can only, they say fake it till you make it, but you can only fake so much. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Wish I've always had more confidence to do that. But people can see through you if you're not being who you are and handling it with your own personality and your own honesty. People see through fakeness very quickly. If a buyer continues to object to a meeting after you've addressed their concerns and you've offered them solutions, you just continue to cultivate the relationship and provide value just like you would with any lead. Give me a minute. I think, what do I do? I may have skipped by one. Well, okay, so you're gonna practice responding to objections. And it's one of the best ways to demonstrate your expertise and win business. So you need to get your objections out there. So you need to learn basically scripts for objections, which I think are maybe in the back of your book. I haven't looked at this one. I'm not sure, but I think they usually are. For instance, the buyer chooses to look on their own. And you say, I understand. Here are a few things to consider. It can be very time-consuming process, a very time-consuming. With my access to the multiple listing service and my real estate contacts, I can search all the available properties for you and show you the best ones based on your needs, saving you a lot of time and headache. I think a lot of people actually start out enjoying the search and get frustrated very quickly. So then buyers want to rely on searching online. The reality is that many times homes advertised online, this is what to say. The reality is that many times homes advertised online may not be available anymore. And how a property appears online is not the same as seeing it in person, which you'll need a licensed agent for, which I think should be emphasized when you're talking, which you'll need a licensed agent for. Finding a house is the fun part, and we can do that very efficiently based on your expectations and needs. Once you find the house, the hard work of submitting an offer and getting you to the close begins. This is all part of the service and expertise I provide as your fiduciary. Now that could be said in words that aren't so fancy sounding. Depends on who you're talking to.
I think of what do you mean fiduciary?
You'll know from class.
Here we go. Now we're to ahas. Y'all got any ahas?
I like the spending 30 minutes with me, saving the time and the money. Like, that's a good one.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I mean,
I think we get so much script, words, blah, blah, blah. I think if we pick just one or two things that work, that we feel comfortable. And I'm telling you, when our office was in the other office, there was a girl that was with me, and we used to practice scripts together, and we did the listing presentation. You need to do that again, because it was absolutely the best. And we started out doing the scripts, and then we'd say, that doesn't sound like me. And then we'd say, no, we're gonna say it exactly like it says. When you do that, when you learn it that way, you start realizing these people are smarter than I am. Lots of research has gone into all this stuff at KW. Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? And we would do this one, this, and it was a progressive thing through the listing presentation. And when you get down here, you realize the reason you said that back there is because this, and it automatically hits what could be their objections. And it just all made sense. And so it was the best thing. I'm telling you, it was the best thing ever did. And then they had some objections, and we did those. And what happens is, if you do that, at some point, you'll be with a client and it will fall out of your mouth without you even thinking about it. And you'll go, oh, okay, I know that, you know? I think that's a piece. Okay, anything else with the ahas? We good. Okay, back to today's agenda. Buyer consultation preparation checklist. Okay. To get a signed buyer agreement, first you need to get to the appointment. When you make an appointment with your doctor or dentist, do they simply tell you the time and date as you head out of the office and expect you to show back up at the right time on the right day? Nope. They follow up and manage the appointment. Okay. This says, confirm appointment day and time. Number 2, confirm the appointment location. The best meeting location is your office. Or another public space. It's best not to go to a private residence for reasons of safety. You haven't met these people. I'm telling you, even if you met these people, you just don't know. So, and again, it's the perception when they come in that they are dealing with a professional, not somebody that's writing documents on the back of their car. Ensure that all decision makers attend. I will promise you, you will kick yourself if you do not do that. And I have had times when I have said, are both of you going to be able to make it? And the wife will say, no, he's not going to come, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, let's reschedule. So both of you, because she's going to just tell him what she has heard, what she wants him to hear. And then when we get down the road, he may be mad because he didn't understand this or that. And he blames you. So you need to educate whoever is going to be the decision maker and signing the documents. Right? Super important. I'm telling you, you'll only do it once or twice. Before you will change, but it will bite you in the rear end. All right, you're going to complete your buyer's guide. And you can find the buyer's guide in your command and designs. And you're going to prepare the meeting space to make sure it looks all professional and everything ready. And you're going to review the lead sheet that you have already filled out. And okay, then it said why is it important decision makers are present, but look, I've already told you that. And then it says if virtual is necessary. I really want them in front of me. Because you're at the top of the list is the fact that they trust you and are comfortable with you and all that. And in person is the best.
We get a feel for them in person.
Yeah. And they get a feel for you.
Yes.
So, okay. Let's see. Top 10 service areas of the buyer value proposition. Number 1, needs analysis. Okay, you're going to recall this from day 4 when you developed your unique value proposition. That there are certain service areas the buyers expect. These are the top 10 areas where buyers need a great agent to help them. Go over the 10 areas. Oh, they're telling me what to do. Okay. Your buyer presentation And your buyer guide is gonna touch on all of these in a very personal way. It should be personal to you, your value proposition, and your buyers based on their lead sheet and needs analysis. Remember to keep your value proposition focused on what you bring to the buyer, not just on how great you are. And we're bad about that because we feel like we gotta prove who we are and that we can do a good job and all that. But you gotta always remember, they may care about that, but what they really care about is how does that benefit me? I mean, every conversation you have with them, the bottom line is, how does that benefit me? These are gonna be the basis of your customized buyer guide, which you can create in Command. Okay. Okay, so when you look at this list. Whoop, this is not the right one. Okay, that's a value. Okay, buyer guide contents. And it's got. Actually got 30 things on this buyer contents list.
Have that.
The buyer's needs. It's on 14.11.
Thank you.
21.
Oh, yes.
Ah, okay.
I just didn't have the other one.
It just says something different.
Did you have the other one? She just went over
Uh-uh.
the 10 service areas of the buy value. I didn't have that either. I was trying to write it down. You went too fast. No, that's okay. We're on buyers.
Okay. Okay.
But we don't have this here. Mine says buyer needs analysis,
So does mine.
not buyer guide content.
Okay.
We don't have that one. I'm looking at.
Do you have this one? You wouldn't
That's the one
necessarily
I was
have
writing
everything
down.
that's up here.
That was the one I was writing down.
You wanna finish writing that down?
Good idea.
That's not in your book?
Why don't you take a picture with your phone?
Good idea. Sorry.
You know what? I do the same thing, cause I am so used to being, I remember things better when I write.
Me
with my
too.
hand.
I do too, cause it gets in my brain.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea. I can do it afterwards. I am so old school, it's not funny.
I've been drug kicking and screaming. In the technology world. And if you don't, you're gonna be left behind.
Well, my sister said, how do you
Yeah.
know all this? At your age, I said, I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
You do it or you die. I mean, that's all
Yeah.
there is to it.
okay, this is the buyer guide content. So this is when you go in the command and you see the buyer's guide. These things are gonna be in there. And when you look at this list, what does it do for your buyers? What does it give them and what does it provide? So what's gonna be valuable to them? An informative and compelling buyer's guide explains the buying process and answers questions the buyers have and even those they didn't know to ask. Learning all the things that are in command and what you can actually use as guides and presentations is really valuable. Because overall, like I said, lots of people a lot smarter than me have decided that these things are the best things. So then you're gonna say, you know, like, is the guide gonna be the same for all buyers? Probably not, maybe not, mostly yes, I think. You know? Someone who grew up in the area probably doesn't need a list of attractions. And does this mean you have to create a completely custom guide for everyone? No. Lots of information will be the same. all want a local market analysis with price ranges and trends, for example. So you're gonna customize a lot of it. Any questions about that? So here it is in command. We're gonna go into designs, create design. And print it. Buyer presentation, buyer presentation, find the design templates. Oh, that is given the directions, I'm sorry, I wrote directions down for something for the board. Still didn't recognize that this was given directions. You're gonna go into designs, then you're gonna go into create designs. And then you're gonna print. And I guess you're gonna pick buyer. And buyer presentation to find the design templates. They're really not hard to find when you go in there. And they're completely customizable. And you want to match your value proposition and the buyer that you're working with. And we're going to use this buyer presentation as a tool to guide the conversation and provide your clients with a tangible demonstration of your expertise as you educate them. What I have done in the past is gone in and just printed them out, so I have in my hand the different ones, because I need to do that personally. And then I just do them like in black and white, and I make a decision of what I like best, what feels the best to me. Okay. So here is your table of contents in the buyer guide. These buyer guides it's really important to have this because they really look at it, because this is not something they do every day. So they want to know what's my step by step. I mean, that's the kind of person I am. I don't want you to talk about this and go here and go there. I like you to follow a path my mind considers to be logical, that I can understand it. And I feel like other people are just like me. Each section of the buyer presentation helps you connect with the buyer and build confidence in your value proposition. You can add to, delete, or reorder the sections. What resources do you need as you prepare your buyer presentation? You're going to want your buyer lead sheet. Things from the MLS that you want to put in it. Your market center assets like the logo. And your address, your photo, and your contact information. So you're going to want to put all that in there. And you're going to remember, you need to remember to go back and change the table of contents. So you put the additions or the deletions or reordered it or whatever. So you need to be aware of that you need to do that. Okay. Okay, this first page sets the tone for your relationship. Start by asking buyers to explain their dream home buying experience. Turn to this page in your participant guide. So you have a page in there.
Yeah, what is? Yeah, that is 14.8.
14.8.
I see in mine, it does not have
Right there.
the same numbers as yours.
Okay, thank you.
What's the objective of this page? Well, it sets the tone for the appointment and your relationship by centering the buyer's needs, wants, and values in the relationship. You can use this page to uncover buyer values and motivations for their move. Describe 1 or 2 questions you change or add in your own buyer guide. You don't have any ideas on that?
You repeat the question.
You want?
Can you repeat your question? No.
Describe 1 or 2 questions you change or add to your own buyer guide. Okay, the next section is the preference profile. And this is about uncovering your expectations and preferences, communication, and the anticipated timeline. It's important to set and revisit expectations because you need to keep going back. Because especially when you're start showing property and nothing works, nothing is right. You need to go back and say, okay, let's regroup here. Let's make sure I'm doing what I need to do. So how are you gonna keep track of all this information across multiple buyer appointments? You should be taking notes during the presentation to capture the information. And this demonstrates to the buyer that their thoughts and needs are important to you. So if you're taking notes on everything they're saying, it makes them feel she hears what I'm saying. She's listening to what I need. And then after the appointment, you update your buyer's contact and command. And that's going to include their method of contact. And you can also go into the custom field to do their additional preferences. Okay, buyer guide home wish list. Okay, who'll be living in this home? And you'll list adults, children, pets. It just makes it, I mean, you need to know these things, but it makes them feel like you truly are trying to help them. What are the non-negotiables for your home? Because there are some people who say, I do not want a gas HVAC. Just crazy to me because that's my top preference. But there are people that feel like that. And there are people that say, I don't even want to look at a house that doesn't have a fireplace. Well, then they start out like that, and then what they can find, they may end up back. If you had to name your top 5 non-negotiables, what would they be? See, I think these are really good questions. And beyond your top 5 needs, what is something you really need? Do you have any preferences for the year the house was built? You really need to know that. Because some people do not want an older house. Some people want a newer house. And some of them, I'm concerned, I need the roof, I need the see. I want a newer house. My son is like, the older house is so much better than that. So much more character. I'm like, maintenance. No, not for me. Okay. Do you need a house in moving condition? Are you willing to do some work on it? That's important. I mean, when they walk in the house, some people, I mean, just because it's got wallpaper, I'm serious. I had a really,
It's hard to get out. It is.
I'm telling you,
Work.
it's amazing to me that people, and you're seeing more wallpaper now and
Yes,
design
yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably the kind that's easier to take down.
Yes.
But the stuff from the past
Yes.
is like glued on.
When my ex-husband and I bought our house, I had a non-negotiable 5 things on this. And one of them was a house he could work on.
That he could work on. Now, see, some people enjoy it. They want to do it. It makes it theirs.
That was his wish.
When I was young, I maybe would have been one of those, but not today.
I know, I was, I'm like,
Okay, when people visit your home, what should it say about you? It may give you some insight into who they are. Are there any specific features that you would add to make your next house feel like home? And would you require accessibility? Okay. Neighborhood insights. The templates and the neighborhoods are in command. I've never done this. But I can see how it definitely could be valuable. And it will make you look better too. Because it looks like you're very knowledgeable. If you're honing in on like an area that they like or they're interested in. Most people, a lot of people start out saying, I only want to live and blah, blah, blah. Some of them mean it with all their heart. Others, once they start looking, can't find what they want. Leave revisit.
well, maybe they need to educate on what's in the neighborhood so they would want to.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about it.
Yeah. And you can use designs to create a neighborhood snap for each area or zip code you intend to include. You can do that. I've never done that. You can get information on how to do this at answers.kw.com.
Answers at kw.com.
It's answers.kw.com. And this is like, do y'all think home buyers understand the buying process? No, they don't. This is not something they do every day. And if they did it 5 years ago, there's some changes out there. And they're not gonna remember. And it's gonna depend on how long it took them to find their house. And if they had issues with that. A buyer who knows what to expect is a confident buyer. Confident buyer is easier to work with. What do you want, John?
I was gonna ask, was that one of y'all that tried the French roast and the machine was messed up?
Not me.
Oh, okay, I cleared it. I didn't know if y'all.
Oh, okay, no,
Sorry to interrupt.
no, that's fine. A buyer who knows what to expect is a confident buyer. A confident buyer is easier to work with than an anxious buyer. Because they're gonna mention objections throughout the process. That's why, like I said, with that listing thing we did the scripts on. You realize it's to keep from having questions down the road. So you have already touched on it. So a buyer who knows what to expect is also an educated buyer who's not going to do things accidentally and endanger their home ownership journey. Finally, a buyer who knows what to expect because you gave them the information they need is a grateful and trusting buyer who is going to work with you again and again and send you referrals. Like I said, they want to trust you first. They want to know that you care about what happens to them. They also want to know that you have the skills. You need the skills to actually educate them because their stress level goes down when they understand the process. And I've always heard don't leave any conversation without saying, this is what's gonna happen next. Now, I dropped the ball on that one, but I try to do that. I try to remember to do that. This is what's gonna happen next as you're going through the process. You taking pictures? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, this just talks about the home loans and that we have Keller mortgage loans, but we have in-house home front. And we have David and Dana. That are top notch. And then we have the Meridian Title Company here. You're gonna get top notch people handling your business, which looks good on you. Okay. You know, in one of the past Ignite sessions, you did your value proposition. Now you're ready to drop it into your buyer and seller presentations. This section of your buyer presentation is all about your value proposition. I don't know about you all, but I still have a little bit of, when you want me to do a saying a value proposition, I'm like, after all this time, do I not have some value?
Yes.
I should have some value. You know, why do I wrestle with that? I don't know. You know, it's fine. So maybe I can work on that. And as a new agent, you may choose to provide data for your team, your market center, or Keller Williams Realty International to present your best value story. Because when you belong to us, we become we. So you don't have to just be I and mine. Because it gives you, it's amazing to me, people think just because you have joined something, you have all the answers. They do. I have been known to do that. You know, just because somebody is a designer really doesn't mean, and they're in Ethan Allen, doesn't mean they really know what they're doing. You know? And anyway. Get our skills up and then we know what we're doing. And then as your business grows, you're gonna track your own successes and update your numbers. Okay, girls. Got any ahas?
Everything.
Everything?
It's all ahas to me.
I didn't know that the buyer's guide template that I could find it,
The what?
that there was buyer's guide on command that I could. look
Yeah.
up, and I didn't know that was.
Yeah. And they're really not hard to find. And if you have any problems,
Kristen, that's.
Beth. Beth is awesome. And she'll help. Tristan will too. Okay. Preparing for the buyer consultation. Before you meet these people, you need to have high quality printed documents, color copy of the buyer presentation ready for them. If you're meeting virtually on a meeting platform, it's a good idea to have one delivered to their home or office the day before. It is most certainly best to meet in person at your office or another quiet and public location. What else might you prepare to have for the appointment? We all know.
Contract.
Absolutely. And maybe, if it's necessary, of course, when this was written, it says masks and hand sanitizer, as well as sterilized pens to write with.
I was gonna
Which
say,
is
have
still-
your pens. I can't tell you how many professionals I've gone to deal with that didn't have a pen. And I've had people with a pen,
Yeah,
and that bugs. me.
and some people may be like me and, it depends on the day of the week, how germ phobic I am. But there are days, when I'm a little germ phobic.
I live with a germ phobic, so.
And it's like, I don't wanna be sick. When I get sick, I'm sick for 3 weeks. That's not good
That's
sick.
what she says, I'm sick forever.
So why am I a little more careful? Or I am. Pretty much. Sure. But it amazes me, people that are not, they just. Anyway. Don't need to tell that story. What kind of mindset do you need going into this consultation? Very positive. You need to be positive. You might need to say, you might need to do some affirmations or whatever, I am today's guilty, but when I love me. I actually asked for God to give me favor. I pray about it, ask God to give me favor and help me do a good job. But boy,
Oh, it has the affirmation right here.
oh, okay.
Oh, right there, I see it now.
Let's be on the next page. Okay, blah, 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 blah. You're gonna need to be confident, you need to be open, caring, curious, and ready to win. Okay, we've discussed limiting beliefs many times before. This is not the place for them. You know what you're gonna be talking about, and you're prepared. And you're the agent that's gonna best serve these clients. There's no room for negativity or small thinking. Okay, there it is. I am knowledgeable and caring and the best agent for these clients. They will appreciate my expertise and preparation and choose me to represent them as they buy a home. Y'all wanna say that out loud? Y'all wanna read that?
I am not.
Knowledgeable and caring and the best agent for these clients. They will appreciate my expertise and preparation to choose me to represent them as they buy.
And honestly, talking to yourself does make a difference. Because you built yourself. That's one of the things about this company. Changed my life. Absolutely. The mindset that we just over and over and over again touch on. Because it is all about the mindset. It is so, you have to watch yourself, watch the people you're around that are negative. And when you're doing something, people will be negative with you. Not in this, but people will be negative with you if you're doing something that they feel like they can't do. And I'm sorry, but it's just the truth.
It's the crab in the barrel.
Yes, grabbing the devil.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it's true. So you have to be able to have strong mindset yourself and believe in yourself.
What you're doing.
And one of the things, let me think how this word is that really was, that I liked was just try to get 1% better every day. If you just try to get 1% better every day, because it is so easy, there are so many things in this business and out there in the world, every business. Do this, do that, this is a better idea, do this, do that, do this. Let me tell you, all it's in is going back to basics. Been doing this over 30 years. And I chase after that stuff too, then I end up coming back to the basics. It's all about relationship with people and caring about them. You get that right?
My
It
favorite.
will fall into place for you, then if you'll do the skill things and the campaigns and all that stuff. I started doing, I got Scott Leroy to set me up with, newsletter. I was expecting, do not have all the emails got, cause my database is from 1993 and then here on. I don't have emails for a lot of people in the past, but I had one person unsubscribe from the, just one.
That's.
And I was really surprised. Now, when I did the Willio thing for the Popeye, no, on the Popeye. The giveaway. I had a few people because I didn't make it clear enough who I was
They thought it was
for the text because it wasn't my number. And even though they should have realized probably who I was, you know, I had one who said, this is a hard, no, or whatever. She used to be a,
Oh.
I'm like, girl, could have done without that.
Yes.
Anyway. All right, and that is.
I'm on that, my Facebook page has become swamped with real estate. But I put Keller Williams on there, it's become swamped with, take this class, take that class. And every time I come back to the same thing, I'm gonna take the Keller Williams class. Cause I don't need confusion.
No.
I don't need to be
I'm telling you.
in the opposite direction. I need to stay focused on just Keller Williams.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
That's right.
It is the best thing. I was with another company for 17 years. They were good to me, I made good money. Within 6 months, I could not believe how much more I knew. I just couldn't believe it. And it's gotten better and better and better over the years. So I think every once in a while, you can tell Williams those things back to this. Okay, back to the basics. You know. It's about people, it's about relationships. Okay. Where am I? Welcome to buyer. Why do I not have something that says welcome to buyer? You know? Okay, buyer needs analysis. A big part of your buyer consultation is filling out the needs analysis. This is where you listen much more than you talk. I think all of these questions are set out by the buyer presentation and command and in your participant guide. Okay, let's talk about the love letter. Does anybody know what the love letter is? Know what the love letter is? It's Carol, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. This is where you write an offer and the buyer wants to write a love letter to the seller saying, we love your
Oh,
tone.
yeah.
We absolutely, you know, my husband was in the military, blah, blah, blah. And we can see our children with the Christmas tree coming down the stairs in the morning and, oh, love letter, love your home. Okay. When I was a broker, I preached against this all the time. And I understand that people want to do it. But they don't understand the liability that they're setting themselves up for. And you are setting yourself up for you deliver it. Okay? So, let's see. Okay, your buyer may have heard of someone writing a letter to the seller and getting a house in a multiple offer situation. Not going to deny that could not happen. We often refer to these as buyer love letters. Though they seem innocent enough, they can easily lead to fair housing violations. NAR calls them liability letters. These letters represent a fair housing risk because they can easily reveal personal information such as race, religion, familial status, which could then be used knowingly or unknowingly in the seller's decision to accept or reject an offer. if the buyer says they can see their children running down the stairs on Christmas morning, the buyer has revealed their family status, religion, both of which are protected characteristics under fair housing. Therefore, it's important to educate your clients, buyers and sellers, on the pitfalls of buyer love letters and inform your clients that you will not help your client to draft the letter, you will not read it, and you will not deliver it. Because you have a big liability. So,
That's so funny. I did one. There were 5 offers. And I did the love letter and we got the house.
so I see how it can be. The liability of it was fair housing.
And someone did it to us when we were selling the house, and they went on about their daughters and how wonderful the house was. Well, we were moving because there was a sex offender behind us,
Oh,
and we said, absolutely fine. I will not consciously sell this house to them because I know they
Yes.
have 2 daughters. So we passed them up and went with a different.
well, my love letter was very.
And the reason was what?
We were moving,
Sex
because a sex
offender.
offender moved in behind us, and I had 2 daughters. And
Oh,
they were a family with 2 daughters. And I said, there's no way, I cannot
Right.
consciously.
I was
Accept
there
their,
like you too.
yeah, but some, you think, I mean, you're given too much information. In that case, I'd be glad for that.
yeah,
But,
still,
I mean, I see why people wanna do it. But our liability is too high, and then they could even do something, because people will sue you over
and
crime
fair housing, that makes.
and win.
Oh, they
That's
win.
what's so
I
scary.
used to be a paralegal, they win. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But no, my letter was short. I don't remember what but it was really not a long letter. It was actually a really short letter. And I
It
think
doesn't
that-
matter, you don't know what you
I
did.
know, but I think that's why they picked it. The others were real long and detailed, and I think they went with the shortest one. Cause I didn't put any major stuff in it. I just said, we wanna buy your house.
Donna, I actually got a listing referral. I'm walking out to you, and I will be back.
Okay.
Cause I'm afraid
good.
they'll change their mind in and out.
Yes.
I don't blame you.
Chair, like, I'll be back.
Okay, okay,
Gosh,
this says, consider taking the KW courses, the color of real estate and unconscious bias. And you can, search NAR for buyer love letters for more information.
What was those courses, the color?
It was, the color of real estate and unconscious bias. Okay, we got any ahas on that one?
You really wanna know, I'm tell you everything. No, the love letter, really, because I wrote one and won a house and over 5 offers, so that was very mind opening to me that they're actually a pitfall. And could be a liability. And that's really interesting, I guess.
I mean, they take a hard stand on it. Do not do it.
Right.
Do not help them write it. Do not read it yourself, and do not do it.
Do you have, are there any recommendations, say they get 5 offers on the house? Do we make any recommendations to the buyer on how to get that?
Oh, yeah,
house?
that'll be another class, and
Oh.
it's a big class. I've actually taught that before in the past, how to write the best offer. Because,
Okay, there you go.
yeah, because there are certain things that you don't. Sometimes you don't think about, but that's on that, there are classes on that.
I think a lot of it too had to do with the fact that we were gonna work on the house and didn't ask for them to do things in the house.
Yeah.
That was really good, thank you.
Am I through? I think I'm basically
When
through.
you got your thingy up there.
My what? Oh, yeah, just don't say I was awful.
Okay, is that what you want? That's funny. Why's it not given? Oh, there's the link. Now, what was your name again? I'm sorry.
Donna Sullivan.
That sounds familiar. Are you from Lexington?
I am.
Where'd you go to school?
Well, actually, I'm from Winchester.
Why did you know? Oh, well, okay, you go to high school.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And one of the other things that we didn't talk about was your app. That's branded to you.
Yeah, I need to, I'm not in command yet. And I don't have an app or anything because I haven't passed they gave me a scholarship for my classes.
Mhm.
So I just started my classes. And,
This business is life changing
I'm gonna tell you,
because you are surrounded, and you're surrounded by successful people, and they teach classes. And
this is my final career, obviously.
Your what?
My final career at my age. And I have been a case manager working with the underserved. And helping them find apartments in this community that they can afford. Which that's very challenging,
Mhm.
but I've been doing all that and I got into just a ton of negativity. I got a new supervisor that for some reason hated me and she started a rumor that I was sexually after the clients that were broke, addicts and alcoholics, broke and homeless in this sober living facility.
That's scary.
Under recovery. So she starts this rumor and I'm like,
We're still recording. I want to.
oh, I'm sorry. But anyway, I was like,
Just in case you're gonna say something.
yeah, I'm sorry, I was talking, I wasn't gonna say names. But I was like, I'm too old, first of all, to be going sexually after a client. It was so negative that I just said, I can't do this anymore. What could I possibly do? Never in a real
I will tell you, you will have more positivity
Mhm.
being here than you expect.
Well, I was praying a lot about it and I was sitting on the couch and I was thinking, what can I do? And this thought came into my head, real estate. And I thought, that's ridiculous at my age.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it's ever too late.
Oh, well, a friend of mine.
I mean, people wanna know, when are you not gonna stop? I'm like, probably never.
Well, a friend of mine did Keller Williams in Texas and became a millionaire in her first 2 years.
Yeah, it can happen.
And she followed everything Keller Williams taught. And I thought, you know what? I looked up Keller Williams right then and there. I looked up, that was the only one I thought of looking up. And I thought, I looked at it, I read everything I could, and I thought, I know I can do this. And that's what
I will tell you, you have to get your skills up, because if you don't, it will become very stressful.
yes.
Because people can be stressful, but if you have your skills to where you educate them, then it's harder for them to get upset with you.
Well,
But I want to touch on, and then
yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Make sure you don't forget to share your KW app with buyer and show them how to
Yes.
use the search features.
Okay,
And the buyer consultation should end with clear next steps. At every point in the sales process, you will be telling your clients what to do, what to expect at this moment and coming up, so they stay informed and confident. When you end the buyer consultation, you will say what will happen next, whether you will set up a search for them by the end of the day, will you send them further information on neighborhoods they're interested in, will you be sending them contacts directly to their phone for lenders you recommend. Make sure you know what will happen next and when it will happen. And then be sure to follow up exactly.
listen here.
Okay, and of course, you've got the daily success thing you need to be doing. And I think that's. And we've got a do not call list. You all have to be very aware of that. When you're making your phone calls. And your daily lead generation time consists of 3 parts. You're gonna prepare, you're gonna take action, and you're gonna maintain. So you're gonna prepare, who am I gonna call, who am I gonna talk to, for your lead generation, and then you're gonna do it, you're gonna take action, and then you're gonna maintain, so you're gonna go into your command, and do that. And
Okay.
I wanna make sure you use your command and put all your people in command. The more people you get in command, then once you learn how to use it, the more people you can touch. And more and more, it is about technology, and it shows that you're up with the time. Okay,
Yes.
and that's something that's important.
Well, and your discussion on command has just been very eye-opening to me on finding information, what we need to do, stuff like that. That's, being today was just really helpful.
I've got a buyer lead sheet. This may be too much since you have it. And so that I'll share, but it doesn't really have a whole lot on it. And there's a couple other things I wanted to discuss. And I've got a little bit of time. To me, I like to have a market summary that I can lay in front of them, so if they are the kind of people that are detailed people,
Okay.
that likes charts. When you go into what used to be L bar, and you go into your flex, you go into menu and then stats and then market summary. Now, what comes up is the market summary. This one is for January 2026 that I printed this morning, okay? And it's got all of this information on here.
Oh, my goodness.
But the cool thing is you can customize it down to areas.
And what did you get it off of?
This is on Flex. This is the MLS, our multiple listing folks. And most people don't even know you can do this and customize. Now, I called the board and said, walk me through this because I'm a little lost on it when I did the customizing part. Now, this just comes up when you take those steps of going to menu, stats, and market summary. Okay. That's invaluable to me if they're already thinking about a neighborhood or whatever. Even if that's not worth handing up, it makes you look very professional, that you can get the information.
Yeah, that's really, I mean, that's stuff I would want.
Yeah. And here's something I want to share with you. This is from the National Association of Realtors. And I always use this. I use it in listing presentation and buyer presentation. And it's information sources that buyers use. And I wish they would update it because the newest one is 2023, unless they've done it just lately. Information sources buyers use. Real estate agent, 88%. Mobile tablet or tablet search device, 72%. Open house, online video. But I like them to see that 88% real estate agent. It's a good number.
It's at 88% sales.
Yeah,
Is that
buyers use a real estate agent 88% of the time.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yes. Oh, okay.
And I always put that in my presentation. And let me see what else I've got over here. And here's a copy of representation agreement.
It's interesting how how the numbers have changed. From two
I was,
thousand,
I was liking the update, I need to go in and just see if they've updated it, cause I had that for. Probably not over 8 months, 8 or 9 months.
well, the real estate agent one hasn't changed much, it stays consistent. But, yard signs has changed dramatically.
And
Rent has changed.
one of the other things I wanna touch on. Is that if you go to kwcommonwealth.com. These stats should be in there. And it depends on which ones look the best, whether the stats from. These are from our board. Which says number 1, sales, number 2, number 3, and 4. Okay. Depends on what makes us look the best. Whether I use the year-to-date one. Or the month one. Or the year-to-date for last year.
Okay,
But this is what it looks like. And I always put it in both listing and Bible. Okay. Gave you one of these, I got it for one of them. And I don't think I gave her one of these. This is a copy of the buyer representation agreement that you're gonna get, or you actually can show them a piece of property,
oh, okay,
because you cannot
before you show a piece of property
legally,
legally,
you cannot show them a piece of property until you have a buyer's representation agreement.
yes, ma'am, we make a note of that.
It's a big deal. Okay. Okay, I've got a few, let me see what time it is. I've got a few things that I just like to share. That is it. Oh, it's just 10:33. Okay, when I go to bold, you may not know what bold is yet,
No,
but I've been to so
I mean, I've heard of it.
many of these. So many bold classes, I can't even tell you. I mean, it's beautiful. And they have them much every year. I think over when we had the. And COVID, you did it online. But they always give you one of these books. So I got a book for every year. And so I was just looking at this one the other day. And I've been to so many of them. That you would think there wouldn't be any more notes to take. But. These are
Look
things
at that.
that I wanted to remember.
Yes,
And
wow,
just some things that they said that just stick out to me. Let's see. Demand more from yourself than others expect. I like this. This may not resonate with you. But at my place in life, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. 1 Thessalonians 4:11.
411,
Yes, I want peace in my life. I actually lost my daughter.
oh,
It'll be 2 years in June, my oldest daughter. And I want peace in my life. I want quiet in my life. I want happiness in my life and fun. And I love that. Make
I love
it
that.
your ambition to lead a quiet life. 1 Thessalonians 4:11. You want to strive to have no turmoil, no noise. Be calm within yourself.
I love that. Mine is this year Isaiah 48:10. I have a scripture in here that I feel God gives me. That one's one that has resonated with me this year because I've seen it every time I turn around. So I figured I was trying to.
Yeah,
But it was basically try something new, God's own my hand.
yeah. Um, Discipline creates freedom. I went to a quantum leap class fairly early on, after I came to college. I should have listened to this more, but one of the things she was saying is we have all these limiting beliefs. And she was saying, well, your limiting belief could be this and this, this. Then she said, well, one of your limiting beliefs could be, if I get successful, I'm going to lose my freedom. And I went, oh my gosh, that's exactly how I feel. And she said, oh, did you get the listing?
I got
Yay!
the referral.
Yay!
Oh, yay. Yeah, it's great though.
And so I was going over just some things that, like, from bold. When you bold, we always have one of these books.
Okay.
I write things down. This one's from quite a while back. From so many of them. And one of the things is discipline creates freedom. And I was saying I went to a quantum leap class. Now, it does depend on who's teaching because there's a little different. But Linda McKissick was teaching this one. And she was saying you may have limiting beliefs. And they could be this, this, this. Then she said, you may have a limiting belief that if you're successful, you're gonna lose your freedom. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is exactly what's wrong with me.
Yes.
And did I internalize it? No. Because she said, because the truth is, if you get successful, you'll have more freedom.
Leverage.
And so these are just some things that I wrote down. Discipline for cause is the most important thing I can do to move my business forward. Following a schedule will change my life. I want freedom. It will take discipline to have that freedom. How true. And you hear these things, and lots of times I'll go to a new class and it hits me different. Something you've heard a long time ago or whatever, but something, because they said discipline equals less stress. Discipline equals more money. Discipline equals a healthy body. I just like that. Talent is overrated. Follow your schedule. I love that. Yeah, some of these are-
Where did you go? Did you
Huh?
do it here?
We used to have to go to Louisville for it, and then we got big enough that we could have it here. They did not have it this year because they didn't have enough people. Because Bluegrass didn't want to do it and Legacy didn't want it. And it's not cheap. It's I think it's $8.99 or something.
Is that a
And
person? 800 a person.
hmm,
Did you say 800 a person?
I think it was $8.99.
Okay.
I don't quote me, I'm not absolutely sure. Okay, one of the things. What you think of me is none of my business. That's hard for me to swallow that one, because that bothers me. I like people like me. Demand more from yourself than others expect. It's not about selling real estate, it's about following a schedule. I started this one. Are you ready for me to go to work for you? That is so simple, but yet pretty much bottom line. You can say it, 80% of success is showing up. I'll just be honest. I just keep saying, especially through all this, yes. The things you can learn from other people in this office, pretty powerful. And it starts being it starts being. It raises your standard for what you expect of yourself. I'm telling you, Keller Williams has changed my life. I was a past president of the $1 million, okay? Girl, when they asked me to run for that, I'm like, oh. That means you put your head on the chopping block to not be voted for. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is running in somebody else. If it had not been for all the mindset stuff in Keller Williams, I would have never stuck my neck out and ran. You know what? Did I know what I was doing being the president? No, but I knew who did know. And so I made sure she was by my side. And she was, other people didn't like her because she was controlling. Well, this is what I want. I want somebody that knows what they're doing. All people tell me is grateful for them. We forget that. And I realize I've heard that 50,000 times. And we forget that. The people are like, there's some. They take it to heart.
And if you write it in the note.
Oh, yeah. No. I mean, let me tell you, people, it is about relationships. You worry just about the relationships, the business will follow. If you always tell people that you're in the real estate. Sellers do not list with limps. So you do have to know what you're doing. Be confident. People buy people first. I think that's so true. I just looked through last night's stars and movies. Okay, your business is down. There's always one answer. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Why do we not want to pick up the phone?
Get phone anxiety.
I know. And it's like,
And they tell
and
us
they
what
always
to
glad to
say.
hear from you.
Yeah.
Every time. Okay, I'm a divine creation, a piece of my creator. Therefore, I cannot be undeserving. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what a bobblehead is?
Yes.
This said you are talking too much when their bobblehead stops. Girl, listen to this because I'm a big time talker. But I like. What else? Might have highlighted here. If I got started on it. I am an influencer. We become influencers. I read something somewhere that said it's like, as a real estate agent, you are like a celebrity in your area. Oh God, it's the truth.
About all the.
People see you differently. Of course, they think we make plenty of money, but I mean, they think if you promote yourself and you have some skills, you don't even have to have the best skills. And especially with social media, you can really do it. Let me do better with that. Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. If they can't do it, they tell you you can't do it. We talked about earlier. Just go do it. I don't know about this one. Being realistic is the most common road to mediocrity. I tend to be like that. Instead of jumping in, I want to know this is what's going to happen from this point. I don't want to wait at that point. Okay. A perfectionist cannot be a high achiever.
80-20. That's something I've learned here, like spend your 20%. Don't waste.
And being done is better than being perfect. I have a hard time with that. Personally, I have a hard time with that. And it has held me back many times. Let's see. Okay, that's all I got in that book. I hope that helps. I don't think if there's anything we touched on. Stuff in your. On the table. Oh, this is from NAR. It is in 2023.
Okay.
You go in, they may be updated. I need to check on that. But this, I got this, it hadn't been that long ago that it's just up to 2023. It's information, sources, buyers, use, real estate agent, 88%. I want my buyers and my sellers to see that. And this other thing I want to make sure you know about.
It's an all-call for me. I said that was an all-call for me. Buyers agreement.
No, I gave you buyer's agreements.
Okay.
This is market summary, I didn't give you,
Oh,
but I want you to know about it, because you were outside, so you have to get off on the phone. This, you don't have a copy of it, but I ran it this morning,
Okay.
and if you go to flex. And you go to stats. Like go to menu.
Yes, I know
And
where
then-
the button.
And go to
Yeah.
stats and click market summary. I mean, it will give you.
That helps me because I've been looking at hot sheets and I'm like, how do I get the information from here? Go to stats.
We used to, I liked what we had for better with the counties and it was so easy to look at and read, and there's some of it that's just when you're trying to do the counties. Anyway. This is for the whole board. All this information, but you can customize it. I called the board and said, when I customized it, and said, try to figure this out, can't figure it out. And he said, well, some of it's a little confusing about where you need to go next. So they'll walk you through it. Like if somebody just says they're interested in hamburger. I mean, you can customize the areas for it to pull up all this information. Which is number of listings, listing prices, absorption rate. Sold to list ratio, days on the market, price volume, just all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And the fact that you can customize it, if they called you and said they're just interested in the hamburger area, then they come in to meet with you and you show them this just for the hamburger. Even if they change their mind and they move it, it shows that you know what you're doing.
Okay.
To me, that's just absolutely awesome. Anyway, people, that's all I got.
well, did you know, I mean, I thought this.
I think I'm gonna
Not showing
Oh.
a house until you have the buyers,
training.
yeah.
Y'all give me a good.
Yeah, I did mine already. The
And if
buyers,
you're gonna give me an ugly one, you can just.
did you know that you should have, or do you have to have? The buyer's representation agreement before you show up.
Yeah.
I just found that out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big thing.
All right,
That's a big thing. All right, thank you, everybody.
thank you. I learned a lot today, thank you very much.
When are you off? When you're off, I have a question.
What?
Is it all?
I don't know, let me. Okay, how do I leave this?
And that works.